Retirement in America used to mean peace porch swings and maybe yelling at kids to get off your lawn. But now it feels more like playing financial Jenga in a windstorm. One wrong move, one medical bill, one rent hike, one insurance premium, and the whole tower comes crashing down. Healthcare, forget it. One ambulance ride costs more than a round-trip ticket to Europe. Inflation, your grocery cart shrinks faster than your 401k. Housing starter homes are priced like luxury yachts, and even rent feels like you're paying for oceanfront property in a city nowhere near an ocean. And here's the plot twist: no one in Washington wants to talk about Americans between 55 and 75 are quietly packing their bags. Not because they're adventurous, not because they suddenly want to learn Portuguese, Thai, or Spanish, but because they've realized something nobody told them at the retirement seminars. You can live abroad safely, comfortably, peacefully for 40% of the cost of living in the United States. Not by cutting corners, not by sacrificing quality of life, but by moving to places Social Security check means something. News, there are several countries, friendly, beautiful, stable countries, that make it almost shockingly easy for Americans to retire legally. Simple visas. Low requirements. Affordable health care that won't send you into cardiac arrest before you even see the doctor. And lifestyles that remind you what the word peaceful actually feels like. So if you've ever sat at the kitchen table staring at a bill and whispering, "There's gotta be a better way," well, there is. Got it. Get it good. Let's take a look. 7. Georgia. Coming in at number 7 is a country most Americans only remember when they're trying to figure out whether it's in Europe or Asia. Georgia. But you're about to understand why more and more retirees are choosing this place as their final landing spot. No chaos, no insane prices, no stress, just mountains, fresh air, great wine, and a cost of living that makes American retirees wish they had discovered it years earlier. Georgia is so affordable that you might genuinely suspect someone misplaced a decimal point. A comfortable life here runs about $1,000, $1,400 a month. Rent in Tbilisi or Batumi, the country's 2 biggest cities, you can get a clean, modern, fully furnished apartment for $280 to $450. Eating out costs $3, $6. Taxis run $1.5, $3, and the internet is fast and cheap enough to make you laugh when you remember what you used to pay in the U.S. healthcare. A private doctor's visit goes for $15 to $30, and the quality absolutely holds up. But the real magic of Georgia lies in the visa situation. Americans get 365 days visa-free an entire year. And if you want to stay longer, easy. Just leave the country for a moment. Come right back and boom, another year. No interviews, no mountains of paperwork, no bureaucratic headaches. And if you want long-term stability, you can apply for temporary residency just by proving financial stability or owning property worth $35,000 plus. In an era where many countries are tightening visa rules, Georgia seems to say, just show up and bring your appetite. And speaking of appetite, lifestyle is where Georgia surprises newcomers the most. The Caucasus Mountains give the entire country a Colorado meets old Europe vibe, but at a fraction of the price. Streets are safe politics, stable air crisp, and the small towns feel like postcards come to life. The people of Georgia are famously hospitable, not politely hospitable like Americans say they are, but aggressively, passionately welcoming. They don't know how to refuse guests. They don't know how to say, that's enough. If they adopt you, you're part of the family, whether you're ready or not. Nothing proves that better than the story a retired American shared with us about his first Supra Georgia's traditional feast. He said everything started gently, delicious dishes, a few glasses of wine, some polite toasts. But things escalated faster than he could mentally prepare for. Georgians have an unwritten rule: a guest's glass must never be empty, and they enforce that rule like it's a national duty. He tried to decline politely, but every time he put his glass down, three different people stood up, raised theirs, and insisted on another toast. He has no idea how he got back to his apartment. When he woke up the next morning, he found a bag of bread, a container of cheese, and a handwritten note in broken English that said, "Welcome to Georgia, friend." He described it as the best night of my retirement, even though he admitted he can't remember nearly 40% of what happened. Georgia isn't for people who need fancy malls or a Starbucks every 5 minutes. But if you want a place that's cheap, safe, friendly, richly cultural, stunningly natural, and where your Social Security check actually holds real power, then Georgia absolutely deserves its spot on this list. 6. North Macedonia. Number 6 is a place most Americans couldn't point to on a map if you promised them free healthcare for life. North Macedonia. Quiet, underrated, affordable, and shockingly simple for retirees who just want peace, low bills, and a view that doesn't come with a California price tag. And yes, it's one of the cheapest places in Europe where you can actually retire without feeling like you're budgeting every breath you take. Let's start with the cost of living, because this is where North Macedonia casually punches every U.S. city straight in the ego. A comfortable monthly budget runs around $1 and $100, $1, $500. That's everything: rent, food, transportation, internet, the works. If you settle in Ohrid, the country's crown jewel, you can get a cozy apartment overlooking a UNESCO-protected lake for just $250, $350 a month. No, that's not a typo. A lake view, in Europe, for less than the price of a storage unit in Los Angeles. Groceries are about 50% cheaper than in the US. And local restaurants serve hearty Balkan meals, grilled meats, fresh bread salads loaded with local veggies for $4, $7. It's simple food, good food, the kind of food your doctor in America would charge you $120 just to talk about eating. Healthcare. A private consultation costs $20 to $35, and most expats say the doctors spend more time listening than rushing. And here's where North Macedonia quietly becomes one of Europe's best-kept secrets for retirees' residency. Buy property worth $40,000, $60,000, and you're eligible for temporary residency renewable every year. No impossible income requirements. No endless paperwork, no 10 interviews with immigration officers who look like they haven't smiled since 2003. After 5 years, you can apply for permanent residency. It's one of the smoothest paths to settling in Europe without needing $500,000 or a golden passport. Life in North Macedonia moves at a gentler pace. It's calm in a way that surprises Americans. No constant noise, no rush, no aggressive honking. Ohrid, with its ancient monasteries and crystal-clear lake, looks like something a travel magazine would Photoshop. Except here, it's real. Streets are safe, locals are polite, and the Balkan culture gives everything a warm, grounded feel. It's Europe, but without the Europe price tag. And then there's the story that perfectly sums up expat life here. A 62-year-old American man emailed saying he first heard about North Macedonia on a Reddit thread titled something like, "What's the cheapest country in Europe that isn't falling apart?" He clicked, scrolled, shrugged, and booked a one-way ticket just to check it out. That was 3 years ago, and he still hasn't left. He writes that his daily routine has become blissfully predictable. Morning coffee by the lake, a walk through the old town, lunch for $5, an afternoon chat with his neighbor who insists he try every homemade brandy known to Balkan civilization. He said he came for the low cost of living, but stayed because, in his words, "It's quiet here. People are kind here. And for the first time in a long time, I'm not stressed." North Macedonia isn't flashy. It's not a tourist magnet. It's not a place that shows up in glossy ads with drone shots and dramatic soundtracks. But for retirees who want Europe without the European prices, safety, without the chaos culture, without the crowds, this tiny Balkan nation deserves a spot on your radar and definitely deserves its place on this list. 5. Colombia. At number 5 is a country most Americans used to associate with old movies, but today it has transformed into one of the safest, most livable retirement hubs in Latin America, Colombia. And when we say safe, we're talking about modern, well-developed cities like Medellin, Pereira, and Manizales, places so calm and comfortable that anyone still stuck in the 1990 version of Colombia wouldn't even recognize them. Colombia today is a completely different story. A place where the cost of living is low enough that even a standard social security check suddenly feels luxurious. You can live very well on $1,000, $1,600 a month. Rent in major cities runs $300, $550 for a modern, fully furnished apartment, often in a building with security and amenities. Local meals cost $3, $5, and healthcare here is genuinely impressive. The EPS system, Colombia's hybrid public-private insurance, costs only $35 to $45 per month. Yet the quality of care ranks among the best in Latin America. When it comes to residency, Colombia stands out again. The Pensionado visa is one of the easiest retirement visas in the region. All you need is a guaranteed income of about $950 per month. Your Social Security alone meets the requirement. The visa can be 3 years at a time. For 5 years, you apply for permanent. No mass, just stable in paperwork. The charm of Colombia is the climate is known as spring, forever mild round, never too hot. A typical day includes sipping whirlwind coffee, walking shaded of greenery, and chat who are famously warm coming. The expat communities in and Manizales are large, feel isolated or out of place. One American, he moved to Colombia simply because he was sick of snow. He flew down for what was supposed to be a temporary winter escape, but ended up settling permanently in Pereira, a peaceful city tucked between misty Andean mountains. He wrote that every morning he brews a cup of coffee grown in the very region he now lives in, sits on his balcony looking at the mountains, listens to bird songs, and wonders why he didn't leave the U.S. sooner. He ended his email with just one sentence: never going back. Colombia isn't perfect, but for thousands of Americans aged 55 to 75, it offers something they've been searching for: gentle weather, low expenses, kind people, and a lifestyle where stress slowly disappears. 4. Nicaragua, coming in at number 4, is one of the cheapest countries in all of Latin America, and one that continues to surprise American retirees who arrive expecting chaos, but instead find peace. Nicaragua. If your goal is to stretch your Social Security check without sacrificing comfort, this country belongs high on your list. Nicaragua is what happens when affordability stops being a marketing slogan and becomes real life. You can live well here on just $900, $300 a month. That's not a bare-bones lifestyle, that's a fully comfortable, relaxed retirement. Rent in cities like Granada or Leon runs only $250, $400 for a house or apartment, with space, light, and charm. And the mercados, they're a retiree's dream. Chicken, beef, vegetables, fruit, all at prices so low, you'll start questioning why American groceries triple for produce that's fresh. Residency is quietly the easiest country. The pension requires only $600 in guaranteed income. That's it. Approved retiree perks, duty for household goods, are under 10 years old, significant tax breaks. Countries roll out the retirees the way Nicaragua. As for lifestyle, this is where retirees realize they've stepped into something special. Many choose to settle in Granada, with its pastel-colored colonial homes and calm streets, or San Juan del Sur, a seaside town known for sunsets that stop people mid-conversation. or the cooler, greener mountain region of Matagalpa. And despite the outdated media narrative, these areas are much safer than many parts of the United States. Walkability is good, communities are tight-knit, and locals tend to look out for each other, including newcomers. Healthcare costs round out the appeal. A private doctor's visit often ranges from just $15 to $25. Many expats say the doctors actually talk to you, not at you, and appointments last longer than the rushed 7–10 minutes common in the U.S. But nothing captures the essence of retiring in Nicaragua, like the story of a 67-year-old American who wrote about his new life in Grenada. He pays $380 a month for a full house, not an apartment, with a yard space to garden and a small patio where he likes to read. He even has a part-time housekeeper, something he never could have afforded back in the U.S. Most afternoons, he naps in a hammock while birds sing from the mango tree in his yard. He said it was strange at first, realizing how quiet life can be when you're not fighting bills, traffic, and stress every day. But now his words are simple. I wake up grateful. I go to sleep peaceful. And I'm finally living the retirement I worked for. Nicaragua may not be flashy, but those who want warmth, affordability, it delivers all than almost anywhere. 3. Number 3 is a tiny Mediterranean that most hear about during history doc or when someone wins Malta. It's a place on earth, let's be honest, one of the easiest countries for Americans to retire, and sometimes peace of mind is worth more than saving a few extra dollars. Malta isn't bargain basement cheap like parts of Latin America or Southeast Asia. A comfortable lifestyle runs around $1,800, $200 per month. But what you get in return feels like winning the lottery without having to buy a ticket. Clean neighborhoods, walkable streets, ocean views, reliable buses, friendly locals, and a level of safety that makes American retirees suddenly realize how tense they've been for the last 20 years. Residency is where Malta really shines. The Malta Retirement Program requires a stable annual income of about $15,000 plus either renting a decent home or owning one. That's it. No massive investments, no complicated interviews, no endless paperwork loops. Just clear, straightforward rules, something retirees in the U.S. wish Social Security would also adopt. If you're still working remotely or have passive income, the nomad visa is almost ridiculously easy. If you can prove you earn money from outside Malta, they practically hand you the right to live on the island. Digital nomads, semi-retirees, and fully retired expats all blend seamlessly here. Lifestyle is where Malta becomes magnetic. English is an official language, which is a huge advantage for Americans who don't want to spend their retirement struggling with verb conjugations. Healthcare is excellent, affordable, and accessible. Crime is incredibly low. And the Mediterranean climate, warm, breezy, gentle, makes every day feel like a slow Sunday morning. Malta may be small, but it's packed with more history than many entire countries. Stone temples older than the pyramids, hilltop fortresses, fishing villages frozen in time, and beaches so blue-shopped, even when you're standing. It's a place where people greet you by sunsets turn entire cold. But Malta better than what retiree said after moving. After a year of quiet neighbors and Mediterranean around, his balcony sighed and said, "The only thing I regret moving here sooner." The cheapest. Retirees who want ease, safety that finally feels it earns every cent. Paraguay is a country most Americans never think about until they see the numbers and suddenly wonder why no one told them sooner. Paraguay. Quiet, warm, incredibly affordable, and offering one of the easiest paths to permanent residency anywhere in the world, Paraguay is one of Latin America's best-kept retirement secrets. Let's start with the cost of living, because Paraguay almost breaks the system. You can live comfortably on $800, $1, $200 a month. Rent runs $200, $350, even in the capital Asunción. Fresh beef, fruit, vegetables, internet utilities. Everything is so cheap that retirees constantly write online asking, "Is this real?" Yes, it's real. Paraguay isn't trying to impress anyone. Life is simple, affordable, and calm. Residency is where Paraguay becomes a near mythical retirement destination. It offers one of the easiest permanent residency processes on earth. All you need is a deposit of about $5,000 in a Paraguayan bank. Once the paperwork clears, you get your permanent residency. And the best part, you can withdraw the money back after. On top of that, Paraguay uses a territorial tax system, meaning any income you earn from the US or outside Paraguay is not taxed. For retirees living on Social Security pensions or remote income, this is a massive benefit. The lifestyle here is peaceful and grounded. Paraguay is safe, friendly, and warm year-round, with very few natural disasters. Expats tend to settle in Asunción, with its mix of modern conveniences and relaxed pace, or Encarnación, known for its beaches along the river and laid-back vibe. People greet you kindly, neighbors actually know each other, and the stress level feels like it's been turned down from a 9 in the US to a 2. Healthcare adds another layer of comfort. Private clinics are affordable and accessible, and expats consistently say the care feels personal rather than rushed. Paraguay may not have the flash of Argentina or the beaches of Brazil, but what it does have is stability, and that matters a lot when you're retiring. But nothing captures Paraguay's charm more clearly than the message from a 70-year-old American retiree who moved to Asunción 3 years ago. He wrote that he lives entirely on his Social Security check, no savings, no investments, no second income. And yet, as he put it, "Here I live like upper middle class." He describes his apartment, fresh, reliable transportation, dinners out, cleaning lady who comes back, all without financial. He said he left him like he was slowly drowning, and the first time in decades could breathe. Paraguay may not be the first to mind when planning retirement, but for those who want affordability, warm weather, and see without it deserves eye on this list. 1. Taking the #1 spot, the country becomes home for more Americans every single year. The Philippines. Affordable, English-friendly, warmly welcoming places on earth can match. Start with the numbers. Live comfortably on $1, $300 per month. Rent in places like Cebu, Dumaguete, Ilo ranges from $2 to $450 for an apartment. Life stays cheap too, for $2, $4 massages, and transportation really crosses a couple of dollars. Despite the low-cost healthcare in major hubs, especially Cebu, Pampanga, and BGC, is excellent, modern, and shockingly affordable compared to U.S. prices. Residency is where the Philippines becomes unmatched in Asia. The SRRV visa, Special Resident Retirees Visa, is one of the easiest long-term visas in the entire region. Depending on the category, you'll need a monthly income of $100 to $500, $2,000, and a deposit of $10,000, $20,000 in a Philippine bank. In return, you get a lifetime visa, no renewals, no repeated interviews, no headaches. You can leave and re-enter anytime you want. Some SRRV categories don't even have strict age requirements, making it uniquely flexible for early retirees and veterans. Lifestyle is where the Philippines wins people's hearts. Locals are gentle, patient, and incredibly welcoming toward foreigners, especially older retirees. English is widely spoken, which removes one of the biggest barriers abroad. The 1,000-plus islands, a cool climate, and a community expats so large blend in almost instantly. Whether you prefer towns, mountain air, or a mid-sized city with great corner of the Philippines, the type of retiree lies in what they spend. 60-year-old former U.S. said something that stuck. He'd spent years stress bills and loneliness in the States. When he arrived in the Philippines, he rented a small place outside Cebu, nothing fancy, just bright, clean, and close to the water. Within weeks, his neighbors started checking on him. The local store owner remembered his name. Kids waved at him every morning. Nurses at the clinic joked with him like they'd known him for years. After a few months, he said he realized something he hadn't felt in decades. He didn't feel alone anymore. In his words, "In the Philippines, I found peace, sunshine, and people who genuinely care." That's why the Philippines sits at number one. Not just because it's affordable, not just because the visa is easy, but because for countless Americans, it's the first place where retirement finally feels like life, not a financial battle. 7 countries where low cost of living, easy residency, and high quality of life aren't fantasies. They're real options for thousands of Americans every single year. From Georgia to the Philippines, the message is the same. You don't need to be rich. You don't need to sacrifice everything, and you definitely don't need to keep playing retirement Jenga. You just need the right destination, a place where your money goes further and your life feels lighter. Now it's your turn. If you had to pick one country to live or retire, which one would it be? Drop your answer in the comments. I want to see which country wins today. Briggs always says, "Good. See you in the next one." Get to like, subscribe, notifications, so you never miss from Discover Globe 10.
If you were given a home and an entire community as one of their own, today I'm taking you on countries where that dream reality. It's about cheap living, something far more powerful to reinvent your life to finally live the way you've always dreamed, a way of life that back home might feel completely out of reach. Imagine waking up to the sound of waves in a quiet seaside village, or stepping outside your door to see rolling green hills that stretch beyond the horizon. Imagine neighbors who treat you like family from day one, bringing you fresh bread, inviting you to celebrations, and making sure you never feel alone. These aren't fantasy postcards. These are real places, and some of them are actively searching for people just like you to join their communities. So here's my question for you. Out of the 5 countries we're about to explore, which one do you think would make you drop everything? Pack your bags and start over. Let's find out. Because by the end of this video, you might just have your answer. Our first destination, Georgia, the enchanting gateway where Europe meets Asia. Nestled between the Black Sea and the towering Caucasus Mountains, Georgia is a land where every turn feels like stepping into a painting. To the north, snow-capped peaks stand proud against a crisp blue sky. To the south, green valleys stretch endlessly, dotted with villages that seem untouched by time. What makes Georgia truly special is the way it blends cultures. Over centuries, it has been a crossroads for traders, travelers, and dreamers, absorbing the West mosaic of traditions, flavors, and stories. The part that might surprise here is not just beautiful, but affordable. In rural areas, you see home for around $200, sometimes even less than the price of a weekly in many Western cities. And if old stone houses with mountain views, cost of a small car. one couple I met and Lucas from Spain, Georgia for a short hiking trip and never left. While exploring a quiet village in the Tusheti region, they discovered a 150-year-old stone house abandoned for decades. The asking price, under $15,000. They took a chance, bought it, and with the help of local craftsmen, restored it into a beautiful homestay. Today, travelers from around under its wooden beams wake up to the smell of fresh bread and share long dinners with the villagers. But Georgia is not just about scenery or affordable living, it's about people. Georgians are famous for their hospitality. Here, guests are considered a blessing. When you're invited to someone's home, expect to be treated like family. And if you live here long enough, you'll experience Rtveli, the annual grape harvest festival. It's more than a celebration, it's a ritual of joy. Imagine neighbors gathering in the courtyard, laughing, singing, and crushing grapes barefoot. The air smells of fresh fruit and wood smoke. Traditional polyphonic songs echo through the valley as the first glasses of Kuvevri wine, aged in clay vessels buried underground, are poured. There's no rush, no formality, only a deep sense of belonging. Picture this. It's dawn. You open your creaky wooden door and the cold mountain air brushes your face. The car glowing pink with the sunrise, sparkling like diamonds, a neighbor's smile, and a bottle. It's not unusual for someone to 8 a.m. Drink wine with them, not out of pure joy in sharing life. Would you dare to live in a place where your day could begin? Our next destination, Albania. The hidden Mediterranean, still untouched and waiting to be lying along the Adriatic Seas. Albania, the turquoise embrace of the Stick mountain ranges, only a short. Here, the city of Tirana in the morning, savor a hot coffee in a quiet little cafe. And just a few hours later, find yourself stepping into the crystal-clear waters of Samil, where tiny green-covered islands float in a sea of deep blue. What makes Albania special is not only its breathtaking scenery, but also its surprisingly low cost of living. In coastal fishing villages, many homes are available for almost symbolic rent, as long as you're willing to stay long-term and become part of the local life. While in Italy or Greece, you'd pay triple for a similar lifestyle. Here, you save money and live within a community that is warm, welcoming, and sincere. Imagine a day in Albania. Morning, you open the balcony doors, letting in the salty sea breeze, carrying with it the aroma of freshly baked bread from the little shop down the street. You hold a cup of strong black coffee and gaze at the harbor, where brightly painted wooden boats return from a night at sea, their decks glistening with fresh fish under the sun. The waves, the cry of seagulls, the cheerful voices of fishermen together, they form a peaceful soundtrack to start your day. By noon, you decide to trade the sea for the mountains. The winding road takes you through endless olive groves and into centuries-old villages, red-tiled roofs, moss-covered stone walls, and narrow cobblestone streets create a scene straight out of an old storybook. Children laugh and play near the village well, while the elders sit beneath shady trees, sipping raki and sharing tales. The cool, clean mountain air fills your lungs, and every breath feels slower, deeper. As sunset approaches, you return to the coast. A small seaside tavern welcomes you in. On the table, a feast of freshly caught seafood, golden grilled shrimp, crispy calamari, and fish marinated with herbs and cooked over charcoal, all for around $5. In the distance, the lights of night fishing boats twinkle across the water like fallen stars. Somewhere nearby, a mandolin plays its notes, weaving through the rhythm of the waves, making you wish this moment could last forever. In Albania, every day can be a complete journey. Mornings with the sunrise by the sea, afternoons wandering mountain paths, and evenings tasting the freshest flavors of the Mediterranean. A place where nature, culture, and together to create a life you wouldn't anywhere else. What would you choose, went to the endless blue of the sea or by the quiet peace of the mountain? Our third destination, Bulgaria, a village's seasonal warm-hearted people, a living tapestry. Part of Eastern Europe, Bulgaria, only the beauty of the Balkans valleys, rare in Europe today, own a centuries-old home that's almost unbelievable. Villages with just $1 to $3 cost of a new smartphone house. Of course, innovations, but the community won't let. They'll connect you with local carpet and sometimes even show up to themselves. Picture morning in a small the cobblestone's tall trees, golden softly to create a glowing the sweet baking and wood-fired ovens through the air mixing with the nipples hanging from trellises. On the red-tiled rooftops curls upward, family meals are being prepared. Every season here has its own celebrations, but autumn comes alive with harvest festivals. From grape harvest gatherings, where the whole village comes together to press wine and raise their glasses, to the world-famous Rose Festival, where pink blooms carpet entire valleys. These events are a chance for neighbors to sing, dance, and share traditional dishes passed down through generations. Newcomers aren't treated as outsiders. You'll be welcomed to the table, handed a glass of rakia, and pulled into the circle dance laughter all around you. Becoming part of the community here is easier than you might think. Many villages offer free Bulgarian language classes for foreigners, helping you understand and chat with your neighbors within just a few months. And one morning, you might open your door to find a neighbor standing there with a basket full of bright red tomatoes, golden pumpkins, or crisp cucumbers, gifts from their own garden offered with a warm smile. Life in Bulgaria, a rhythm. Here's your name, the food seasons, and each festival that happiness doesn't need it. The home you buy here, walls, ticket into a close where you'll always feel you belong. So, old European home, smartphone. Our fourth destination, Vietnam, where the past and they're like waves meeting the shore, symphony of life. Golden lantern-lit street to the bustling pace of harassed rice fields to the endless beaches of the Central Coast. Vietnam is a country of rare diversity. But what makes so many people stay isn't just the natural beauty, it's the incredibly low cost of living and the warmth of a community that welcomes you with open arms. Let me tell you the story of Mark, an American who once lived in New York. He worked in advertising, high income, but at the cost of relentless pressure and sky-high living expenses. One day, Mark decided to change everything. He booked a ticket to Hoi An, an ancient city along the Thu Ban River, and began teaching English online to students around the world. Now, with a budget of just $500 a month, including rent for a small house with a garden, food, and transportation, he enjoys a slower, richer life. Mornings with coffee by the river, afternoons cycling through green rice paddies, evenings strolling beneath glowing lanterns. Vietnam is a feast for the senses. In Hoi An's morning market, vibrant stalls overflow with fresh vegetables, tropical fruits, and fragrant flowers. The calls of vendors mix with the jingling bells of delivery bicycles, while the scent of hot pho blends with the deep aroma of freshly roasted coffee. Down in the Mekong Delta, you might find yourself gliding through a floating market surrounded by laughter, the hum of boat engines, and vessels piled high with mangoes, pineapples, and rambutans. But Vietnam isn't just a place to live, it's a land of opportunity. Many foreigners have successfully opened small, uniquely styled cafes or cozy homestays for international travelers. With only a modest investment, you can create a steady income while becoming part of the local rhythm of life. And perhaps the most unforgettable part of Vietnam is its people. Warm, genuine, and always ready to help, the Vietnamese have a way of making you feel at home. Within just a few weeks, have new friends invite dinners or spawn the countryside. Here, foreigner, you become woven into the fabric of a close. So, would you rather look heartbeat of Hanoi or in the peaceful arm of Hoi An? Destination. A peaceful haven in the heart of life moves at a slower community bonds. Uruguay is known as the most stable country, both politically and and it has a Uruguay standing army and its trust in peace unity to save. This has created an atmosphere and welcoming that many people open during the day without a second thought. The cost of living here is moderate, especially in rural areas and small coastal towns. You can rent a 2 or 3 bedroom home with a garden not far from the beach for $400 to $600 USD per month. If you're willing to live a bit farther from the center, prices can drop to $250, $350 USD. Compared to the United States, these numbers are astonishing. In New York, Los Angeles, or San Francisco, a one-bedroom apartment can cost $2,000 to $3,500 USD per month, and that's before utilities. This means that what you'd spend on rent in the U.S. for a single month could cover 6 months of living in Uruguay, including housing, food, and other basic expenses. The Uruguayan government also actively encourages people to move to rural areas through programs that provide land financial grants or low-interest loans to build homes and start new livelihoods. Many foreigners have taken advantage of these opportunities to begin a new chapter. One such example is the Lopez family from Spain. 5 years ago, they came to Uruguay and received support to purchase a plot of land on the outskirts of town. They started a small organic farm, raising chickens and growing vegetables, and every week they sell their produce at the local farmers market. It's the kind of place where everyone knows each other's names, checks in on each other's health, and yes, even remembers the name of your dog. But Uruguay isn't just about farming or rural life. It's also about unforgettable moments like sunset at Punta del Este. Picture yourself sitting on soft golden sand, the vast Atlantic stretching out before you. The sun slowly dips into the ocean, painting the sky in shades of orange, pink, and violet. Around you, locals gather in small groups, sipping the traditional herbal tea shared among friends and family. The waves keep a gentle rhythm, laughter drifts in the breeze, and all the stress of city life feels like a distant memory. In Uruguay, life is unhurried. People are warm and community ties run deep. This is a place where neighbors don't just know who you are, they know your dog's name too. So, would you trade the noise and rush of the city for a place where your neighbors know your dog's name? We've just explored 5, each with its own story and unique opportunity. The gateway of Europe and Asia, to Caucasus Mountains meet an unmatched hospitality. Albania, the gem, where you can watch the blue sea in the mornings and the afternoon and enjoy fresh seafood at night for just. Bulgaria, village of your dreams, it's covered in golden leaves, harvest festivals, and a community that welcomes. Vietnam, present, intertwine, vibrant, ancient streets, slow down and live among a unity. Uruguay, peaceful haven in South, a country with no relying only on and the breathtaking Punta del Este. A different piece of the puzzle, one thing in common, or for you to start over in your own. If you had to choose one of these to begin again, which would you pick? Answer in the comments below. Hear your choice. And if you found this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, notification bell so you won't miss the.
Can you believe that with just $500 a month, you could live comfortably, savor delicious meals every single day, and even discover a warm, welcoming community abroad that feels like family? While in the United States, $500 might only cover part of your rent or a handful of quick dinners in many corners of the world. That same amount can give you a complete, fulfilling lifestyle, a safe home, vibrant experiences, and the freedom to finally breathe. So here's my question to you. Which country do you think will top our list today? Drop your guesses in the comments, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe to discover Globe Places Top 10 so you never miss out on our next journey. Now let's dive in and count down the 5 incredible countries where you can retire on just $500 a month. Ready? Let's begin with number 5, Morocco, where colors and culture embrace you. For many retirees, the idea of moving abroad sounds complicated: paperwork, interviews, endless hurdles. But Morocco makes it straightforward. A modest, stable income, temporary residency. Do it each year, 5 years, is within reach. No tests, no assessments, just a system that welcomes live peacefully. It is more than just a place to stay, it's a place to feel. Walk through Marrakesh in the evening. The famous El Fana Square is a night. Snaked flutes, vendors, meat that fill the air with smoky aromas. Stalls piled high with saffron, cumin, and paprika, their colors glowing under lantern light. The entire scene feels like stepping into a storybook. Travel north, and you'll arrive in Chefchaouen, the enchanting blue city tucked into the Rif Mountains. Every street, every wall is painted in shades of blue, from sky pastel to ocean deep. Locals say the color keeps the city cool and calm, but visitors often describe it as walking through a dream. Life here moves slowly. Shopkeepers greet you by name. After just a few days, children play soccer in alleyways painted sapphire, and time itself feels softer. And all of this comes at a cost so light, it feels unreal. A comfortable apartment can be yours for $250 to $400 a month. A steaming bowl of couscous or a rich, fragrant tagine cooked with apricots and almonds costs just $2 or $3. And when you pause at a street cafe, $1 is enough for a pot of sweet mint tea poured high into your glass with a flourish and always accompanied by a smile. Imagine yourself on a rooftop terrace overlooking the edge of the Sahara Desert. The sand glows gold as the sun begins to set, then slowly melts into shades of crimson and purple. The warm breeze carries the scent of spices, and in the hear the melodic call to. It's one of those rare feels perfectly still. You realize you don't dollars to feel rich. You just need to be in the. And the people who are even more special. Moroccan women reflect the country of old and new, deeply connected to they're also leaders, and conversations are is easy, values run deep. This balance of grace and strength, daily life feel yet full of possibility. Retiring in Morocco, sizing your life, hitting it with color, with culture, that whole. For a home that feels both endlessly inspiring, Morocco may be the beginning of a whole new chapter. Number 4, Mexico. Fiesta of life and affordability. For retirees dreaming of a vibrant yet affordable life, Mexico has become one of the most beloved destinations. And for good reason. The path to living here long-term is surprisingly accessible. With proof of a steady monthly income of about $1,600 or a reasonable amount of savings in the bank, you can qualify for a temporary resident visa. Renew it over the years, and after just 4 years, you'll be eligible for permanent residency. It's a straightforward, reliable process, no confusing interviews, no costly investments. But beyond the paperwork lies the heartbeat of Mexico, a rhythm that you can feel from the moment you arrive. Along the Yucatan Peninsula, Caribbean sparkles in endless turquoise. Here, hammocks, palm trees bring in their catch at dawn. Dunes are made for siesta. Move inland, find Oaxaca, alive with bursts of hand-painted walls and murals that tell story and resilience. And in Guadalajara, the mariachi art and music everywhere, from lively backstreet cafes. Life here is not quiet, it's a celebration. And the best part, you can live it all on a budget that feels almost unbelievable. A cozy apartment costs just $300 to $500 per month. Street tacos filled with smoky carne asada and fresh salsa are only $1 each. A candlelit dinner for two with enchiladas, fresh guacamole, and a bottle of red wine might cost only $15. Altogether, a couple can live comfortably, really comfortably, on just $700 a month. Now imagine this. It's Friday night in the plaza. Strings of golden lights crisscross the square. Children chase each other near a fountain. Couples stroll hand in hand, and the smell of roasted corn drifts through the air. A mariachi band strikes up guitars, violins, trumpets, and suddenly the rhythm of salsa fills the space. Locals begin to dance, the energy contagious. Someone reaches for your hand, and in that instant, you're not a visitor. You're part of the fiesta. And beyond the beauty and the music lies the true heart of Mexico, its people. Women here are known for their strength, passion, and devotion to family. Tradition is cherished recipes passed down through generations. Holidays celebrated with color and reverence. But modern life thrives alongside it. In every conversation you'll sense the warmth spirit that makes Mexico a foreign country and Mexico affordability, with joy. Here, $500 limit you. It unlocked with music, flavor, and the freedom to each day as it comes. Number 3. Philippines. Of affection. Looking for both affordability and the Philippines offers one of the most in Asia. Resident retiree visa, or V, is refreshingly simple. With just a $10,000 and proof of a pension of $100 a month, you can secure a long island nation, no endless delays, no intimidating requirements. It's a visa that says if you're ready to live here, the country is ready to welcome you. And what a country it is. Imagine the emerald waters of Palawan, often called the most beautiful island in the world. Limestone cliffs rise dramatically above turquoise lagoons, while small fishing boats glide silently at dawn. Travel north and you'll find the breathtaking Banawe rice terraces carved into the mountains over 2,000 years ago, green steppes that locals call the eighth wonder of the world. Then there are the whimsical chocolate hills of Bohol, a rolling landscape that looks like it belongs in a fairy tale. Each island, each corner is alive with wonder. Living here is not only beautiful, it's practical. A modest apartment near the city or the beach costs between $200 and $350 per month. Eating out is a pleasure, not a luxury. Heaping plates of adobo or fresh seafood cost only $2 to $3. A visit to the doctor, just $10 to $20 without insurance. Altogether, a retiree can live comfortably on $500 to $600 a month and still feel rich in experience. But perhaps the most unforgettable part of the Philippines is its people. Step into a brightly painted jeepney and you'll sit shoulder to shoulder with strangers who feel instantly like family. They smile, share stories, sometimes even share their food, and suddenly the ride becomes more than just transportation, it's community on wheels. That's the essence of the Philippines. Wherever you go, you are included. And at the heart of that warmth are the women of the Philippines. Known for their loyalty, devotion, and kindness, many are also highly educated, successful in career and in English. Of cultural values makes it easy to form genuine lasting relationships. Here, those naturally bridging worlds. Philippines isn't just about it's about living surrounded by affection. On these islands, dollars buys not just a life, but a life filled with sunsets and a sense of that money alone key. Number 2. High altitudes. If you're looking for a country savings stretch further imagined, Bolivia deserves a place on your list. Just $250 per month for residency and easily permanent status over time. Massive bank statement, $2 million invest proof of modest steady. But what sets Bolivia apart? Affordability. It's the beauty that surrounds daily. In the high Andes, the city of La Paz clings dramatically to the mountainside cable cars soaring overhead with views that take your breath away. Travel south, and you'll reach the otherworldly Salar de Uyuni, the largest salt flat on Earth, where after a rainstorm, the ground becomes a perfect mirror of the sky. It's a place where Earth and heavens seem to meet, and even a simple walk feels like stepping into eternity. And all of this comes at a cost that's almost impossible to believe. Renting a small but comfortable apartment can cost as little as $150 a month. A hearty meal in a local cafe, steaming soup, rice, vegetables, and meat costs about $3. At the neighborhood market, fresh potatoes, corn, and colorful vegetables are stacked high for just a fraction of U.S. prices. Utilities, around $40 to $50 per month. Altogether, you can live well on $480 to $550 per month, less than many people's grocery bill back home. But Bolivia isn't just numbers on a page. Imagine this. It's evening in a small town square. Lanterns glow softly against colonial facades. A group of musicians begins playing the haunting sound of pan flutes, joined by guitars and drums. Neighbors gather children, chase each other across the cobblestones, and soon the square fills with dancing. You're invited in not as a tourist, but as part of the community. This is what life feels like here, communal, joyful, grounded. And within that community, women hold a central place. Bolivian women are admired for their strength, resilience, and devotion to family. Marriage is seen as a lifelong bond, and values of loyalty and perseverance are deeply rooted in daily life. Whether you meet women leading their families, working in markets, or teaching in schools, you'll notice a profound connection to both tradition and community. Bolivia is a land of high altitude, yes, but also high spirit. It offers a slower, more connected way of living, where the cost is low, but the richness of life is immeasurable. For those who dream of stretching every dollar while gaining experiences money can't buy. Bolivia is not just affordable, it's unforgettable. Finally, number 1. Vietnam, land of balance. Unlike some countries, Vietnam doesn't have a dedicated retirement visa. But that hasn't stopped thousands of expats from calling it home. With flexible options like renewing tourist visas, service visas, or business visas, many retirees have found a way to serve for the long term. The process may not aim, but in reality, it's accessible, welcoming. Arrive, Vietnam Nguyen. 3,000 kilometers of coastline, the country is blessed with sandy beaches, from the source of Da Nang, bays of Nha Trang. Travel south and you'll float along Delta, where vibrates brim with tropical fruit. In the lantern-lit streets glow golden, casting a timeless charm, and in the north, sea mountains reveal terraces that seem to climb. Everywhere you look, the perfect balance between and change, still energy. Living is balanced. In the city costs $200 to $350. A stew-rich broth herbs, just $2. A glass of sweet ice costs only $1. Altogether, a retire comfortably on $400 to $600 a month. Still have space in the budget for like weekend getaway dining by the sea. Care adds another layer. Vietnam hospitals are and far more in the West. Consultation between $20. For that's less than home. But beyond the people that make Vietnam extraordinary. Women here embody both elegance and strength. Deeply devoted to family, yet increasingly successful in fields like education, business, and the arts, they reflect the country's own balance of tradition and progress. Conversations are warm, laughter is easy, and relationships grow naturally over shared meals and strong coffee. Picture yourself sitting on a low stool at a sidewalk cafe in Hanoi or Ho Chi Minh City. For just $1, you sip your coffee slowly while the hum of motorbikes weaves together with the laughter of young friends gathered nearby. It's yet peaceful, fast, how unhurried. In that moment, you feel balance. Viet, a place to live cheaply, it's a place where modern comfort culture and where it feels like an invitation to life at its richest. We've just uncovered Morocco, Vietnam, the Philippines, and Mexico, where life costs but gives you so much. These aren't just destinations, they're invitations. Slow down to breathe deeper and on your own terms. You don't need a fortune to tree. Sometimes is $500 a suitcase, and I'm ready for something new. So, which to your heart? In the comments below. I'd love to know where your dream lies, and if this journey in you, like this video. Subscribe to Displace's Top 10 and join, because the world is wide. Next stop, you've been waiting for. Do you believe that in just you could hold legal permit in a brand new country millions without taking a single exam? While in the United States, immigration can feel complicated, overwhelming, and painfully expensive. In many other parts of the world, the process is surprisingly simple, almost too good to be true. In today's video, we're going to explore the 5 easiest countries to get permanent residency in 2025. These are places where you can start over, live on a low budget, enjoy safety and peace, and finally embrace a slower rhythm of life. So, before we dive in, sure to hit that subscribe button to discover Globe Places Top 10 so you never miss our journeys to the most affordable and inspiring destinations around the world. And now, let your heart open to new horizons. Join me as we count down the 5 easiest countries to gain permanent residency in 25 places where the dream of a slower, safer, and freer life can truly become reality. Let's begin with number 5. Belize. Caribbean life made simple. For Americans, few places make residency as effortless as Belize. Imagine this. You step off the plane and there's no visa required. You simply decide to live here for 1 year, and that alone qualifies you to apply for permanent residency. No language tests, no intimidating interviews, and no need to prove you're a millionaire. It's almost as if the country is saying, just come stay and live with good intentions. And what a life it offers. Belize sits between Mexico and the Caribbean Sea, blessed with turquoise waters and home to the world's second largest barrier reef. Each morning, you can wander through colorful markets where the air is filled with the scent of ripe mangoes, fresh papayas, and ocean fish still glistening from the morning catch. You hand over just a few dollars, half of what you'd spend in the US, and walk away with a bag full of food that will last the day. By the afternoon, life slows even more. You might settle into a hammock on your porch, the sea breeze brushing gently across your skin, while reggae music drifts faintly from a neighbor's radio. There are no traffic jams, no endless bills piling up on the kitchen counter, just the rhythm of waves against the shore and the luxury of unhurried time. The costs here are surprisingly manageable. A modest home only minutes from the beach rents for $800 to $900 a month. Together, a couple can live well on $1 and $200 to $1,800 monthly, covering rent, utilities, internet, food, and health care. A visit to a private clinic costs just $40 to $70, and if you ever need specialized treatment, Mexico's high-quality hospitals are only a short drive or flight away. Of course, safety matters. Belize City rough, but towns Corozal or the Hawker feel like quiet, peaceful, and welcoming. Neighbors greet you warmly each morning. Seller remembers not only your face, but your favorite fruits. Everyday connections soon make you outsider and more like family. Don't be alone. It has a steadily growing expat, especially among Africans who've chosen to leave behind and pressure of life. They've built a community of support and belonging, proof to explain why you left. You just smile. I've found my peace. In Belize, permanent residency isn't just a legal status. It's the start of a simpler life, where your day might be whether to swim in the sea, sit back and watch the sun melt into the horizon. Number 4. St. Kitts and passport. What if that in just 3 you could hold residency, but full in a tropical paradise there full-time without giving up your import? In St. Kitts and Nevis, island nation in the Caribbean, offers one of the fastest forward immigration programs in the world. Is an investment $50,000 in sustainable growth fund, $1,000 real estate, and in you gain citizenship residency that opens the door to visa across dozens of countries. But St. Kitts and Nevis legal shortcut. Imagine a small island. Things begin with the sapping gently on the shore. Fishermen unloading their fresh catch at the local market, and the scent of grilled snapper filling the air. Afternoons pass slowly under palm trees, where friendly locals greet you with a smile, and life feels more like a gentle rhythm than a race. The costs here are reasonable for what you receive. A home near the beach rents for $1 and $200 to $200 a month, and a couple can live comfortably on $1 $800 to $500 monthly, including food, utilities, and internet. And here's the best part. There is no personal income tax, no inheritance tax, no property tax, and no capital gains tax. What you earn and what you build are rarely yours. Another gift of these islands. This is the kind of place where at sunset, without your doors unlocked when you run to the market and watch chilly in the streets without fear. There are the stories like Mr. Charles, hired engineer from Atlanta. After decades of pressure, he came He spent across the Caribbean. It's where he rented a modest home near the brewed his morning coffee to the leaves and walked to the village market as remembered his name. 10 months, he was granted residency. In a lack home, he wrote, "First time in decade, not hiding, I am not struggling, thinking. I am simply St. Kitts and only about obtaining it's about rediscovering what, when it's safe and free." Number 3. Europe's coastal haven. Portugal has the busiest doors into Europe, possible golden visa program. With a real estate investment of around $280,000, you can obtain residency without the requirement to live in the country full-time. That means you can keep your life elsewhere, return just a few times a year, and still hold a European residency card in your hands. But what makes Portugal unforgettable isn't just the paperwork. It's the feeling of being here. Along the Algarve coast, golden cliffs rise above sparkling blue waters, where fishing boats drift lazily at sunrise. In Lisbon, ceramic azulejo tiles decorate winding streets, their patterns telling stories centuries old. And in Porto, the cobbled lanes climb steeply toward cathedrals, offering breathtaking views of the Douro River as it glitters in the evening sun. Life flows slowly here. Imagine sitting in a tavern where the haunting sounds of fado music the night, voices beauty, or sipping an espresso outdoor cafe as people stroll by conversing in the warm Mediterranean air. Cost of living is far less. In Lisbon, bedroom apartment rents for about $7 to $1 per month, and even less if you move to towns or coastal villages. A couple can live on $1 to $200 per month. Rent, food, utilities, and healthcare. Portugal's public, while private, affordable, and just a fraction of it. It's no wonder it attracted a large and welcoming expat community. From Americans to Brits and Germans, many have chosen to settle here, drawn not just by the affordability, but also by the warmth of the people and the ease of integration. And there are little luxuries that make life even sweeter. With only $5 to $7, you can enjoy a bottle of local red wine, sunshine, and sea breezes captured in every sip. Paired with crusty bread, creamy cheese, and olives picked fresh from the countryside, every meal feels like a celebration of life's simplest pleasures. Portugal isn't about rushing, it's about remembering. Remembering how to slow down, how to savor, and how to live with depth and joy. And for those looking to plant roots in Europe, this coastal haven might be the perfect beginning. Number 2. Thailand, tropical comfort on a budget. For retirees and long-term travelers, Thailand offers some of the most welcoming residency options in Asia. If you're over 50 with an income of just $2,000 per month, you can apply for a retirement visa. Or, if you want even more security, the Thailand Elite Visa grants residency for 5 to 10 years, with simple requirements and almost no bureaucracy. But the true reason people fall in love with Thailand isn't the paperwork, it's the daily life. Imagine starting your morning market in Bangkok, boats drifting by, exotic fruits, steaming bowls, and the smell of fresh earth in the air. Or in Chiang Mai, mountains and temples, life moves slower, filled with lantern hum of scooters. Heart longs for the sea places and Koh Samui, stretches of white sand and water, perfect for a life's relaxation with adventure. And all of this comes at a price that feels almost unbelievable. A modern apartment with a swimming pool in Chiang Mai costs around $400 per month. A couple can live very comfortably on $1,000 to $1,600 a month, covering rent, food, transportation, and entertainment. Street food is not just delicious, it's iconic. A plate of pad thai or a steaming bowl of tom yum soup costs only $2. And with just 10, you can eat your fill all day and still have enough left for a coffee in a small roadside cafe, watching tuk-tuks weave their way through the streets. Healthcare here is another highlight. Thailand's international hospitals are world-class, equipped with modern facilities and English-speaking doctors. Costs are dramatically lower than in the US, which is why medical tourism has flourished here for decades. Safety and community are also strong points. Thailand is one of the most visited countries in the world, and expats have formed vibrant communities in nearly every major city. Locals are famously warm and welcoming, ready with a smile or a helping hand. Add to that a rich culture of festivals, temples, and traditions, and you have a country that balances the exotic with the comfortable. Thailand isn't just affordable, it's alive. Every sound, every flavor, every sunrise over the temples reminds you that life here is not measured by money, but by experiences. And for those ready to embrace a tropical life on a budget, Thailand opens its arms wide. Number 1. North Macedonia, Europe's hidden gem. Tucked in the heart of the Balkans, North Macedonia doesn't shout for attention the way Western Europe does. Instead, it whispers through its mountains, its lakes, its traditions, and the quiet kindness of its people. For anyone looking to put down roots without heavy bureaucracy, this little country is an unexpected treasure. All you need is a rental contract and proof of stable income from abroad, and you can receive a 1-year residency permit. Renew it, and after 5 years, permanent residency is yours. No language tests, no pressure, just the simple choice to stay. The landscape here feels almost untouched. Lake Ohrid, with its glassy surface reflecting every cloud, is one of the oldest and deepest lakes in Europe. Along its shores, you'll find cobblestone streets leading to centuries-old churches and fishermen casting their nets as the sun rises. In the capital, Skopje monuments and fountains line open squares, while cafes spill onto sidewalks where locals sip coffee and chat for hours. Life isn't rushed here. It flows like the Vardar River, steady and unhurried. And then there's the food, hearty, rustic, and meant to be shared. A family table might include tavche gravche, a slow-cooked bean stew bubbling in an earthen pot, ajvar, a roasted red pepper spread as bright as the Macedonian sun, and flaky pastries stuffed with cheese, all paired with a glass of robust local red wine. Meals aren't just about eating, they're about connecting neighbors, friends, and family, gathering late into the night with laughter and stories. The cost of living is astonishingly low. In Skopje, a clean two-bedroom apartment rents for just $400 to $600 per month. Near Lake Ohrid, charming homes can be found for around $350. A couple can live comfortably on $700 to $1,000 a month, with enough left over to enjoy meals out, weekend trips, and cultural festivals. Healthcare is affordable and accessible. Private clinics have English-speaking doctors, and visits cost only a fraction of what you'd expect back home. But perhaps what makes people stay isn't just the affordability. It's the warmth of everyday life. Here, a strong cup of coffee costs only $1, and smiles are free on every corner. Strangers will nod, greet you, and offer help without asking for anything in return. You live your life, they live theirs, but when you need community, you'll always find open doors. North Macedonia isn't polished or glamorous. It's authentic. It's a country where traditions are, where the pace of life, and where you can feel both and the lightness of both. For those ready to peace and chaos for cult's hidden gem of Europe, the perfect place to call home. So, let's recap that open their doors with Belize, St. Kitts, Portugal, and North Macedonia. Each one different. Caribbean calm, Europe, tropical vibrant, Balkan authenticity. They share one clear path to a new life. Remember, you don't need to be a millionaire to start. All you need is the desire to feel safe and to step outside of bills and pressure. Journey has inspired you. Like this video, subscribe to discover Globe Places, and leave a comment below. Which choose to begin again are, I wish you health, the courage to find a place truly worthy, home.
What if I told you in 2025 you could live for less than your monthly carbon? Imagine wake views, grabbing a delicious just $2 and no more than what you spend on gas each month. Here's the real surprise. Cheap destinations. Their purity isn't a drawback, it's an advantage. In these countries, your life experience and stability are not only respected, they're valued. So where are these hidden gems? Today we're counting down the top 5 countries where your budget stretches further, your health is secure, and your dating life might just take an exciting new turn. Stay tuned, because number 1 on this list will absolutely shock you. Number 5, Portugal. Close your eyes and picture this. The morning sun rises over the terracotta rooftops of Lisbon. The scent of freshly baked pastel de nata drifts through the air, and just around the corner, you hear the strum of a Portuguese guitar. Portugal isn't just a destination. It feels like stepping into a postcard where life slows down and welcomes you in. Now let's talk about the cost of living, because this might surprise you. Renting a comfortable modern apartment right in Lisbon city center will set you back about $700 to $900 a month. But move to charming smaller towns, places with cobblestone streets and ocean views, and you'll find cozy apartments for as little as $400 to $500. A delicious seafood lunch with fresh sardines or bacalhau, just $6 to $8, and a perfectly brewed espresso, strong and smooth, costs only $1.50. Compared to the constant squeeze of rent and bills back home, Portugal feels like you've unlocked a secret level of freedom. Healthcare here is another reason so many expats are drawn to Portugal. As part of the European Union, the system is modern and highly affordable. Insurance plans cost a fraction of the United States. Gain access to English-speaking world-class hospitals. Peace of mind, more and more as we get. And then comes the magic living, the D7. Known as the passive income, it's one of the simplest, and all you need to show is around $200, $500 income from pensions, rent, investments. With that, live here long-term, or to EU, freely across Europe, even gain citizenship. But numbers alone don't capture Portugal. Imagine sipping a glass of wine in the Douro Valley and below you, or strolling golden sands of the Algarve. Evenings here are slow and sweet in the streets, small cafes with quiet laughter and to stretch. Culturally, Portugal is deeply family. Portuguese women often value and emotional maturity qualities that naturally bring into relationships. Here, your life is not as baggage. Let's take Jim's story. He left the noise and pressure of rent devoured half his income, and life felt like an endless treadmill. He moved to Porto, he expected only a slower, more affordable life. Found was so much more. At gallery, he met Anna, a local teacher, and a quiet strength. She had calmness, his steady presence for building something meaningful. Renovated a centuries-old townhouse and turned it into a warm little homestay. Today, travelers from across the world pass through their doors, and Jim says every guest reminds him how far he's come from a cramped New York apartment to a life rich with love, community, and freedom. Of course, Portugal isn't without its trade-offs. Compared to much of Asia, the cost of living is a little higher. But what you get in return is priceless safety, breathtaking beauty, mild year-round weather, and a culture that celebrates family and connection. For many expats, Portugal isn't just a place to live. It's a place to finally feel at home. So could Portugal be the beginning of your next? Number 4, Georgia. Between Europe and Asia. Georgia is one of those that feels like a hidden treasure opened. Life here is not only affordable of soul. Let's start living. In the heart of Tbilisi, apartment will cost you just $200 a month. Equally budget-friendly. A plate of khachapuri or will run you only $3 and a glass of local wine. Less than $1 you're winning in taste and quality. Georgia is after of wine with tradition for 8,000 years. Visa rules make things healing. Citizens can enter visa-free year and extending it forward. This quietly turned Georgia into the easiest countries in the world. Healthcare here is rapidly with costs far less. Major hospitals offer affordable care and growing in both quality and for expats is inexpensive peace of mind. Georgia is about life. Picture yourself hiking the majestic mountains, soaking in natural hot used for centuries, or wandering wine villages where locals still welcome bread and a smile. Life moves here every day, chance to savor, not rush. Talk about relationships. Culture is rooted in family as sacred, respect runs, purity is admired. Women hear older men for their stability, responsibility, and their ability to provide a secure future. In a society where family bonds mean everything, these qualities give mature men a natural advantage. Georgia also offers something unique for expats with a spark of ambition, small investment opportunities. Many foreigners have found success opening boutique cafes, guest houses, or wine-themed B&Bs. With tourism on the rise, these ventures can be both fulfilling and financially rewarding. Here's a quick tip. Learn a few words of Georgian. A simple medloba thank you or gamarjoba hello can open doors to friendships and show genuine respect for the culture. Locals deeply appreciate the effort, and it makes integrating into the community far easier. So Georgia is not just warm, it's welcoming, and it's fees for those willing to embrace its truth. Imagine building a new life. Mountains are your backyard, freely, and maturity is. Could Georgia be the perfect bridge between your next adventure? Number 3, if you're looking for a country that blends with fast-growing modern life, just capture your heart. live comfortably on a modest budget, in a culture that feels both vibrant. Let's look at the cost of living. A modern apartment close to the beach rents from $50 to $500 a month. It's affordable. A steaming bowl with herbs and slow simmered costs about $2. Iced coffee, the with condensed milk, just $1. For many expats, freedom, the ability daily without constantly checking the bank balance. Care is another highlight. Vietnam's private international hospital in Hanoi, Ho Chi Minh offer high-quality care at 80% cheaper. Many doctors and speak English. Visits smooth and real. Health insurance plans widely available. Visa policies are flexible. Perfect. Vietnam for a specific retirement. Many foreigners stay longest or business visas, renewed or extended with for those willing to navigate. Living here is highly achievable. Vietnam is not just it's about experiences. Imagine starting your day with a bowl of street food on a tiny plastic stool, then sailing through the emerald waters of Ha Long Bay by afternoon, and ending the night sipping cocktails on a rooftop cafe in Saigon, watching the city sparkle below. Vietnam offers a lifestyle full of contrasts. Ancient temples beside skyscrapers, quiet fishing villages near bustling cities, and traditions that thrive alongside rapid modernization. When it comes to dating culture, sincerity is everything. Vietnamese women often value men who are reliable, respectful, and emotionally mature. Older men who bring stability and honesty tend to earn trust quickly. Relationships here often grow from a foundation of genuine care, family values, and shared respect. Consider David's story. At 58, he left England frustrated with costs and a lack of connection. In Da Nang, affordability and love. He met a 2-year-old business owner who admired presence. Together they relationship at a seaside home arrives with visitors from around the world. David became more than a new home, but a new life filled with meaning. Vietnam has its challenges. The food, the landscapes breathtaking, unbeatable, but chaotic, and visa procedures sometimes. Yet for many expats, the rewards far outweigh. So could Vietnam be the place where your money stretches further, what it's been searching for? Mexico. Just south lies a country where like a celebration of life. Full colonial cities, Mexico offers both affordable and rich. Let's break down the costs. Often called one of the safest cities in Mexico, an apartment for $400 a month. Street food is bursting with flavor, costs to $3, and getting a local bus only 50 cents. Your dollar stretches farther, giving you room to end basics, but the extras that healthcare is a Mexico tourism with private hospitals offering care at a fraction of U.S. price. Doctors speak English from dental work to sought by foreigners who save thousands while receiving excellent care. For those dreaming of a longer stay, the temporary resident visa is surprisingly accessible. All you need is proof of about $2,000 to $3,000 in monthly income, which can come from pensions, social security, or investments. This visa allows you to stay for years and often serves as a path toward permanent residency. But Mexico is about much more than numbers. Imagine diving into a crystal clear cenote, ancient sinkholes, sacred to the Maya. Picture yourself walking through vibrant parades during Dia de los Muertos, where candles and flowers honor the memory of loved ones, or simply unwind on the white sands of Tulum, waves crashing at your feet. Dating here is deeply tied to tradition. Mexican women often value men who are respectful, stable, and serious about family. For older expats, this maturity is seen as a strength, not a weakness. Take Steve's story. At 60, he moved to Mexico searching for a slower pace and a fresh start. In Merida, he met Alejandra, a yoga teacher who admired his calmness and life experience. Together, they launched a small cultural tour company guiding visitors through markets, cenotes, and festivals. What began as a chance encounter grew into both a partnership and a livelihood. Here's a tip. Learn some Spanish. Even just basic phrases will help you connect, avoid relying solely on the expat community, and earn the respect of locals. A simple gracias or buenos dias can open more doors than you'd expect. Mexico combines affordability, vibrant culture, and opportunities for meaningful relationships. It's a place where life feels colorful, authentic, and full of second chances. Number 1, Paraguay. Quiet, unassuming, and often overlooked, Paraguay is perhaps South America's best-kept secret. For expats, it offers one of the lowest costs of living on the continent, a relaxed pace of life that deeply values family and tradition. About the numbers. In the Asuncion, you can rent a comfortable apartment for just $100 to $500 a month. A hotel costs $2 to $4, and getting across town on the bus is intense. This is a country where your retirement stretch further than almost in America. Is another strong point. Private hospitals in Encarnacion provide quality care at expenses. Choose private health insurance and ensures accessing doctors in larger cities. Options are also straightforward. Paraguay offers a retirement proof of just $1 in monthly income. Paperwork is refreshingly similar to many other countries. You gain long-term access to local services. But life here is not just about affordability, it's about connection. Picture yourself sitting in the shade with neighbors passing around a traditional gourd of yerba mate, a ritual that symbolizes friendship and community. Or imagine joining in the lively San Juan festival, where music, dance, and fire traditions light up the night sky. Paraguay offers a lifestyle that is slow, communal, and full of charm. When it comes to relationships, Paraguayan women often value maturity, respect, and cultural appreciation. Older men who show responsibility and care are admired, especially when they make an effort to understand and respect local traditions. In a society centered on family and community, these qualities carry real weight. Take Mike's story. At 65, he left Australia after years of living alone. In Paraguay, by the river, he found more than just a new home. He found Lucia. She was warm, kind, and family-oriented, and together they built a peaceful life in a small garden home overlooking the water. Mike says that for the first time in decades, he doesn't feel alone. He feels rooted, connected, and cherished. Of course, Paraguay isn't perfect. It's one of the cheapest countries in South America and has a close-knit expat community, but English is not widely spoken. To truly thrive here, you'll want to learn at least some Spanish, or even Guarani, the indigenous language spoken daily by locals. Still, for those seeking peace, affordability, and authentic community, Paraguay is a hidden gem that can turn retirement into the most rewarding chapter of your life. So what do you think? Could Paraguay be the place where your journey begins again? If you're enjoying this journey so far, do me a quick favor. Hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell. Why? Because it's the simplest way to stay with us as we keep uncovering hidden gems around the world. From secret coastal towns to countries where your money goes further, we've got so many more adventures coming your way. Your support really makes all the difference. It tells us you want more content like this, and it helps this channel grow so we can keep making every episode better for you. So go ahead, click subscribe, ring that bell, and let's keep exploring the world together. So let's wrap this up. We've just explored 5 incredible countries where you can live affordably, enjoy high-quality healthcare, settle down with straightforward visa options, and a dating culture that values stability. Something unique, Portugal's coast, Georgia's timeless traditions, vibrant energy, Mexico's colorful, Paraguay's peaceful simplicity. Now here's my question for you. These countries would you choose chapter? I'd love to hear your drop a comment below and maybe even share your own expat story. Don't forget, hit like, subscribe bell so you won't miss the next. We've got more hidden gems and nations coming your way. Thanks for joining me on this next adventure. If you were given a horde and an entire community as one of their own, would you go? Today, I'm taking you on a journey where that dream could be. But the cheap living. It's about something far more powerful. The chance to reinvent your life, to find love, and to finally live the way you've always dreamed. A way of life that back home might feel completely out of reach. Imagine waking up to the sound of waves in a quiet seaside village, or stepping outside your door to see rolling green hills that stretch beyond the horizon. Imagine neighbors who treat you like family from day one, bringing you fresh bread, inviting you to celebrations, and making sure you never feel alone. These aren't fantasy postcards. These are real places. And some of them are actively searching for people just like you to join their communities. So here's my question for you. Out of the 5 countries we're about to explore, which one do you think would make you drop everything? Pack your bags and start over. Let's find out. Because by the end of this video, you might just have your answer. Our first destination, Georgia, the enchanting gateway where Europe meets Asia. Nestled between the Black Sea and the towering Caucasus Mountains, Georgia is a land where every turn feels like stepping into a painting. To the north, snow-capped peaks stand proud against a crisp blue sky. To the south, green valleys stretch endlessly, dotted with villages that seem untouched by time. Makes Georgia truly the way it blends cultures. It has been a crossroads for and dreamers, absorbing the best into a rich traditions, flavors, and stories. Part that might surprise you is not just beautiful, but affordable. In rural areas, you can rent around $200 a month less. That's less weekly grocery bill in cities. And if you're ready to settle down, old mountain views can be bought for the cost. Let me tell you about Anna from Germany. They came to Georgia for and never left. Exploring a quiet village in the Tush, they discovered a 150-zone house abandoned for decades. Asking price, under $. They took a chance with the help of local craftsmen to a beautiful homestay. Travelers from around the world wake up to the smell of fresh bread, long dinners with the village. But Georgia is not just about living, it's about people. Georgians are famous for here guests are considered a blessing. You're invited to someone's home, expect family. And if you live here, you'll experience annual grape harvest festival, a celebration of joy. Imagine in the courtyard, laughing and crushing grapes. The air smells of fresh smoke. Traditional songs echo through the glasses of Kuvevri wine vessels buried underground are poured. There's no rush, no formality, only a deep sense of belonging. Picture this. It's dawn. You open your creaky wooden door, and the cold mountain air brushes your face. The Caucasus peaks are glowing pink with the sunrise, their snow sparkling like diamonds. A neighbor walks over with a smile and a bottle. In Georgia, it's not unusual for someone to knock on your door at 8 a.m. just to invite you to drink wine with them, not out of habit, but out of pure joy in sharing life. So, would you dare to live in a place where your day could begin like that? Our next destination, Albania. The hidden jewel of the Mediterranean, still untouched and waiting to be discovered. Lying along the Adriatic and Ionian seas, Albania holds a rare gift, the turquoise embrace of the sea and majestic mountain ranges only a short distance apart. Here you can leave the capital city of Tirana in the morning, savor a hot coffee in a quiet little cafe. And just a few hours later, find yourself stepping into the crystal clear waters of Semil, where tiny green-covered islands float in a sea of deep blue. What makes Albania special is not only its breathtaking scenery, but also its surprisingly low cost of living. In coastal fishing villages, many homes are available for almost symbolic rent, as long as you're willing to stay long-term and become part of the local life. While in Italy or Greece, you'd pay triple for a similar lifestyle. Here, you save money and live within a community that is warm, welcoming, and sincere. Imagine a day in Albania. Morning, you open the balcony doors, letting in the salty sea breeze, carrying with it the aroma of freshly baked bread from the little shop down the street. You hold a cup of strong black coffee and gaze at the harbor, where brightly painted wooden boats return from a night at sea, their decks glistening with fresh fish under the sun. The waves, the cry of seagulls, the cheerful voices of fishermen together, they form a peaceful soundtrack to start your day. By noon, you decide to trade the sea for the mountains. The winding road takes you through endless olive groves and into centuries-old villages, red-tiled roofs, moss-covered stone walls, and narrow cobblestone streets create a scene straight out of an old storybook. Children laugh and play near the village well, while the elders sit beneath shady trees, sipping raki and sharing tales. The cool, clean mountain air fills your lungs, and every breath feels slower, deeper. As sunset approaches, you return to the coast. A small seaside tavern welcomes you in. On the table, a feast of freshly caught seafood, golden grilled shrimp, crispy calamari, and fish marinated with herbs and cooked over charcoal, all for around $5. In the distance, the lights of night fishing boats twinkle across the water like fallen stars. Somewhere nearby, a mandolin plays its notes, weaving through the rhythm of the waves, making you wish this moment could last forever. In Albania, every day can journey, mornings with the sea, afternoons wandering mountain paths, and evenings tasting the freshest Mediterranean. It's a place where community come together to easily find anywhere else. So, what would you do each morning to the endless blue of the sea, surrounded by the quiets? Our third, Bulgaria. In villages, seasonal hearted people weave to tapestry. In Europe, Bulgaria offers of the Balkan mountains but also something rare, the chance to own a home for a price unbelievable. In some $1,000, $3,000 new smartphone, you could, of course, most of them, but the beauty community won't let you do it alone. Local carpenters, builders show up to lend a helping hand themselves. Crisp autumn morning in a village, the cobble lined with tall trees, falling softly to create a glow. The bread baking and wood drifts through the air, mixing ripe apples hanging from trellises. From the red-tiled roof, smoke curls upward. Warm family meals are being. Every season here has its, but autumn comes alive with. From grape harvest gatherings, which comes together to press wine or glasses, to the world-famous Rose Festival, carpeted entire valleys. These events are a chance for neighbors to sing, dance, and share traditional dishes passed down through generations. Newcomers aren't treated as outsiders. You'll be welcomed to the table, handed a glass of rakia, and pulled into the circle dance laughter all around you. Becoming part of the community here is easier than you might think. Many villages offer free Bulgarian language classes for foreigners, helping you understand and chat with your neighbors within just a few months. And one morning you might open your door to find a neighbor standing there with a basket full of bright red tomatoes, golden pumpkins, or crisp cucumbers, gifts from their own garden offered with a warm smile. Life in Bulgaria moves to a gentler rhythm. Here, everyone knows your name, the food changes with the seasons, and each festival is a reminder that happiness doesn't need to be complicated. The home you buy here is more than it's your close-knit community feel you belong. If you could buy a European home for the price, would you do it? Destination. Vietnam and present flow together like the shore, creating a vibrant city. From the golden of Hoi An to the Hanoi, from the terraced northern mountains, beaches of the central coast. Country of rare diversity. So many people stay. Natural beauty, it's the cost of living, and the warmth welcomes you with open arms. Let me tell you the story who once lived. He worked in advertising, high-end cost of relentless high living expenses. Mark decided to change everything. He booked a ticket to Hoi An, an ancient Thu Ban River, English online to students around the world. A budget of just $500, including rent for a small house and transportation, or a richer life. Coffee by the river, afternoon green rice patties, evenings glowing lanterns. Viet feast for the senses. Morning market, vibrant stall with fresh vegetables, fruits and fragrant flowers. Halls of vendors mix with the jingling of every bicycles, while the scent of hot blends with the deep aroma of coffee. Down in the meek, find yourself gliding through it, surrounded by laughter, the hum of boat engines, and vessels piled high with mangoes, pineapples, and rambutans. But Vietnam isn't just a place to live, it's a land of opportunity. Many foreigners have successfully opened small, uniquely styled cafes or cozy homestays for international travelers. With only a modest investment, you can create a steady income while becoming part of the local rhythm of life. And perhaps the most unforgettable part of Vietnam is its people. Warm, genuine, and always ready to help, the Vietnamese have a way of making you feel at home. Within just a few weeks, you might have new friends, invitations to family dinners, or spontaneous trips to the countryside. Here, you're not just a foreigner, you become part of a story woven into the fabric of a close-knit community. So, would you rather live in the energetic heartbeat of Hanoi or in the peaceful arm of Hoi An? Destination. Uruguay, peaceful haven in the heart of South America, moves at a slower pace. Bonds are strong. Known as one of the safe countries in the region and economically, rare distinction, not maintain a standing arm. It places its trust in and community unity. This is so safe and welcoming. People leave their doors open during the day. Second thought. The cost is moderate, especially in rural coastal towns. 3-bedroom home with a garden each for $400 USD per month. If you're willing to live a bit farther, prices can drop to $200, $350. Compared to these numbers are in New York, San Francisco, an apartment can cost $2,003, $500 US, and that's before. This means that what in the US could cover 6 months of life, including housing, basic expenses. The Uruguay actively encourages people to move through programs that provide grants or low-build homes and start. Many advantage of these opportunities. A new chapter. Example is the Lopez family. 5 years ago, and received support to purchase the outskirts of town. They organic farm, raising vegetables, and every produce at the local farm. It's the kind of place knows each other's names, checks in on each other's health, and yes, even remembers the name of your dog. But Uruguay isn't just about farming or rural life. It's also about unforgettable moments like sunset at Punta del Este. Picture yourself sitting on soft golden sand, the vast Atlantic stretching out before you. The sun slowly dips into the ocean, painting the sky in shades of orange, pink, and violet. Around you, locals gather in small groups, sipping the traditional herbal tea shared among friends and family. The waves keep a gentle rhythm, laughter drifts in the breeze, and all the stress of city life feels like a distant memory. In Uruguay, life is unhurried. People are warm and community ties run deep. This is a place where neighbors don't just know who you are, they know your dog's name too. So, would you trade the noise and rush of the city for a place where your neighbors know your dog's name? We've just explored 5 countries together, each with its own story rhythm of life and unique opportunity. Georgia, the gateway of Europe and Asia, where the majestic Caucasus Mountains meet endless wine feasts and unmatched hospitality. Albania, the untouched Mediterranean gem, where you can watch the blue sea in the morning, hike the mountains in the afternoon, and enjoy fresh seafood at night for just a few dollars. Bulgaria, the European village of your dreams, cobblestone streets covered in golden leaves, lively harvest festivals, and a community that welcomes you like family. Vietnam, where past and present intertwine, vibrant markets, ancient streets, and the chance to slow down and live among a warm-hearted community. Uruguay, a peaceful haven in South America. A country with no standing army, relying only on peace diplomacy and the breathtaking sunsets of Punta del Este. Each one is a different piece of the puzzle, but all share one thing in common. They open the door for you to start over in your own way. If you had to choose one of these 5 places to begin again, which would you pick? Leave your answer in the comments below. I'd love to hear your choice. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss the journeys ahead. Unbelievable news. Right now, 5 countries are offering Americans permanent residency faster and easier than ever before. No investments, no ends, no expensive lawyered loopholes, just that could completely change. Imagine waking up in an affordable new home where your monthly rent is half of, where healthcare is not a benefit, and where you can finally free without looking. In this video, 5 destinations start a brand new chapter of your life, beauty, security, and these are the mainstream rarely, but once you know them, retirement, or even your self, might. So stay tuned. Down from number 5, you'll want to hear every. Number 5, Costa Rica, the land of pure. This tiny Central America is for its peaceful culture, friendly locals. Most people don't know. Costa Rica offers one of the simplest, reliable residency programs looking to retire abroad. The most popular path called the Pensionado program. It's tailored to retirees. The legal, all you need is proof of retirement income of at least 1 per month. Typical security, a pension, guaranteed source. You don't need to buy a home, invest in a business. Your documents, your proof of income. You can apply for legal residence immediately. You'll receive renewable residency permits. You can even apply for if you want to make forever home. Now let's talk living. Imagine a comfortable 1-bedroom apartment for $500 to $700 a month. Public health care through the national system known as Caja Costarricense de Seguro Social. Costs around $80 monthly, and it covers everything from doctor visits to hospital stays. Many expats combine this with private insurance for just a little more, ensuring top quality care without the crushing bills Americans often face back home. Take Linda, for example. She's a 62-year-old retired teacher from Texas. Tired of living paycheck to paycheck in the U.S., she moved to Costa Rica 2 years ago. Today, she lives in a quiet San Jose neighborhood, surrounded by greenery and friendly neighbors. Her total monthly expenses, rent, groceries, utilities, transportation, and health care come out to about $1,200. She told us, "For the first time in decades, I feel safe, respected, and free." And that brings us to one of Costa Rica's greatest strengths: safety and community. The country abolished its military back in 19 U.S. cities. Seniors are respected here, never sidelined, never forgotten. And with a large expat community, you're never truly alone. There are English-speaking doctors, social clubs, and entire neighborhoods where Americans and Europeans have built supportive communities. So if you've ever dreamed of starting fresh in a place where life runs at a slower, healthier pace, where people actually take time to smile and say hello, Costa Rica may be your perfect answer. Simple legal residency, affordable living, excellent healthcare, and above all, a culture that welcomes you with open arms. That's why it earns the number 5 spot on our list. Number 4 on our list is Malaysia, often called the gateway to. This country combines culture with deep cultural tradition. Here's the best part. Widely spoken. The easiest places for America without a language barrier. The pathway is the Malaysia. My second home, known as MM2, long-term residency visa designed to attract foreigners for stability and affordability. The legal risingly straightforward. You'll have financial stability either through say monthly income of around $2,000. You're granted a residency pass. Numerous offers in Asia. Buy property, no forced indebtedness. Just show that you and you're welcome to stay. What does life look like? Let's start with the cost of living. In Kuala Lumpur, the capital, clean, modern one-bedroom, $400 to $600 per month is so affordable. In real, $3 to $4 fresh seafood or groceries at wet markets are even cheaper, and many expats report half of what they used to back in the States. For example, he's a 50 freelancer from Seattle. Tired of the high costs, and he moved to Penang, an island's historic architecture, food culture. Today's about $1,000 rent, utilities, food, transport included. I never thought I could live the modest budget of healthcare. Global standout. Hospitals and private clinically accredited, often who trained in the UK. The dropping up to 70 equivalent care in America. A specialist visit may only set you back $30 to $40, while advanced procedures cost a fraction of U.S. prices. That's why Malaysia has become a hub for medical tourism, and for retirees, it means peace of mind, world-class care without financial ruin. But beyond the numbers, here's the real heart of Malaysia. It's welcoming, safe, and connected. With a large expat community, especially in Kuala Lumpur and Penang, you'll never feel out of place. Neighbors greet you. Locals often switch to English with ease, and you'll find clubs, communities, and support groups everywhere. Malaysia isn't just a place to live, it's a place where you can thrive. Affordable, modern, safe, and medically advanced. That's why it claims the number 4 spot on our count. Number 3 on our list is Belize, a hidden Caribbean treasure, is the official language. That's right, no translation with communication. Instantly makes life easier from open to chatting with neighbors. Offers something even the Qualified Program, or QR. This residency path made for retirees and simplicity. Just prove income of about $2,000 US. That's it. Just in real estate, you don't business. Once a URP, your status with incredible exemptions on income, duty-free imports, and even the ability to boat without the heavily apply in other countries. Now let's talk about what lusts. Imagine waking up to the waves outside your window. The beach in Ambergris Caye, one of the famous islands, will set you back about $700 to $900 a month. Local groceries. Fresh fruits, fish, and vegetables are plentiful and affordable. Eating out at a local restaurant. Often less than $10 for a full meal. Take Karen, a 65-year-old retiree from California. She decided she wanted sunshine and simplicity after years of stress and high costs back home. Today, she rents a cozy home just a short walk from the beach in Ambergris Caye. Her total monthly expenses, including rent, food, transportation, and healthcare, come to about $1,300. She told us, "Every morning I feel like I'm on vacation. But this isn't a trip, this is my life now. And here's another powerful advantage. Belize is close to home. A direct flight from Houston takes just about 2 hours. That means you can visit family in the U.S. quickly and cheaply, or have them visit you without the hassle of long-haul flights. For retirees who want to feel far away from stress but still close to loved ones, that balance is priceless. Add it all together. A simple residency program, affordable Caribbean living, world-class natural beauty, and proximity to the U.S. And it's clear why Belize is quickly becoming one of the most popular retirement havens for Americans. That's why it takes the number 3 spot on our list. Number 2 on our list is Greece, a country where ancient history meets modern comfort. Imagine strolling past ruins thousands of years old, then sitting down for fresh seafood by the Mediterranean, all while paying far less than you would in most of Western Europe. Greece offers a unique pathway called the Financially Independent Person Visa, or FIP visa. The rules are refreshingly clear. You must demonstrate a stable monthly income of about $2,000 US. That income can come from Social Security pensions or other passive earnings. What makes this visa attractive is its flexibility. You don't need to buy property. You don't need to invest in a company. You simply need to show you can live independently without relying on the Greek state. Once approved, you receive a 2-year residence permit renewable in 5-year increments. And here's the real reward. After 7 years of legal residence, you can apply for Greek citizenship. Central neighborhood can be rented for about $500 to $700 per month. Groceries are fresh and inexpensive. Imagine tomatoes, olive oil, and local feta cheese for a fraction of U.S. prices. Healthcare is another highlight. Greece operates a public healthcare system that residents can access, while private hospitals and clinics offer international standards at costs dramatically lower than in America. A doctor's visit typically ranges between $30 and $50, even with an English-speaking physician. Take George, for instance. Years old, this retired engineer to move to Crete. Surrounded by cities and a slower pace of life, his monthly costs, rent, food, utilities total around $1,400. He told us surviving retirement, living it. But beyond, Greece offers something rare, a deep sense of belonging. All towns, neighbors invite you for coffee. As seniors are respected and cared for. Americans, the idea of gaining Europeanship after 7 years is a dream. That's why another affordable destination, gateway to culture, community, and it earns the number 2. And on our list is Thailand, jewel of affordable living, cultural warmth, and world-class, known as the land of smiles. Thailand isn't just a tourist destination, it's the perfect brand new life. Options here are straight. Retirees often get visa, which requires $24,000 to $30,000 in income or savings. Is the Thai elite offers long-term resident privileges like fashion and VIP service. Both pathways are simple designed to make foreigners feel. But what does life in Thailand look like? In Chiang Mai, a bedroom apartment can be rented for just $300 to $500 per month. Fresh, flavorful meals from street markets often cost as little as $2. Monthly groceries rarely exceed $200. Imagine a lifestyle where your total expenses hover around $900 less than what many Americans spend on rental alone. Take Michael, for example. At 67, this former Navy veteran wanted peace, security, and a sense of community. He settled in Chiang Mai. For less than $900 a month, Michael now lives in a comfortable apartment, eats well, and enjoys a city filled with temples, night markets, and lush mountains just minutes away. I finally feel free, he told us. Back in the States, I was counting every bill. Here I'm counting blessings. Healthcare is another reason Thailand stands at number one. The country has some of the best hospitals in Asia, internationally accredited and staffed by English-speaking doctors. Costs are a fraction of U.S. prices. A specialist visit might cost $30 to $40. Major surgeries or advanced dental procedures are performed with cutting-edge technology at prices that shock most Americans in the best way possible. For retirees, this means peace of mind, world-class care without financial devastation. But beyond affordability and health care, there's something deeper. Thailand offers a sense of belonging. Locals welcome foreigners with genuine kindness. Communities of expats thrive in cities from Bangkok to Phuket to Chiang Mai. And there's always the sense that you're not just surviving retirement, you're embracing life fully surrounded by beauty, culture, and warmth. That is why Thailand holds the number one spot on our list. It isn't just about lower costs or easier visas. It's about a quality of life that many only dream of, and in Thailand it can finally be your reality. So there you have it. 5 countries that open the door to permanent residency with simple steps, affordable costs, and a quality of life that feels like freedom. From Costa Rica's Pura Vida lifestyle to Malaysia's modern comfort, to Belize's Caribbean charm, to Greece's Mediterranean legacy, and finally to Thailand's unmatched balance of affordability, healthcare, and warmth. Each of these nations offers more than just a new address. They offer a new beginning.